Yo, what is up, y'all? Hopefully, I don't miss today's daily upload. I was planning to take a break today, but it's late at night. I've taken enough of a break from Mons, and I've realized not enough of a break. I just didn't want to burn out. So I was like, I'll take today off. And I was like, nah, I don't really want to miss the daily upload streak because I'm going to start being really busy in a few weeks. So I decided to do tournament review. I was debating not doing this because I was like, these are private replays. I was like, maybe I don't want people to see them. And I was also like, fuck it, I don't care that much. Like, these games were live on Smog Tours, so some people did see them. I don't think it's that deep. But yeah, I got to play FC in Uber Seasonals. I won my first round. The first round was pretty uninteresting. What I was debating doing for Seasonals was doing all my replays in one big video just at the end of my run, but then I was like, nah, that's like that'll be like a 2-hour long video. This video is probably gonna be long as is. But I think in the time I've been building my own teams, I've been laddering. I do have a ladder. I have a few ladder ults. I ladder for my videos, but where are my ladder ults? Actually, I can't leak the ladder ults, but I got 2 in top 30. One I ladder with often, the other one not so much. So I guess before I go into it, I did build most of these teams. I've been testing with them this week. Yeah, it's pretty fun. So I'll go into the first game. First game, I brought quite an interesting team. Originally, this was Deoxys and then 5 broken setup guys. I had NDM originally, but I changed it to NDW because I felt like it fit a little better. Gave me spin block to Deoxys attack spikes, all that stuff. All around, maybe not the greatest matchup. If we can remove that Ho-Oh, it opens up Calyrex big time. I do have a bit of a secret tech on this Deoxys attack. It wasn't used this game, so I can't bring it out. But this tech is quite nice, and it's meant to lure Scarf Koraidon. But yeah, I lead Deoxys attack, obviously. He leads Miraidon. I figured there's no point in taunting this. He's gonna U-turn or Electro Drift. If he Electro Drifts and I clicked the wrong button that I had, it was a big punish. I would have gotten nothing that turn, and he would have 2-KO'd me. I would have got a spike up with no chip on him. So I decided to take the safe route and just take my chip on Miraidon. Maybe he stays in Electro Drifts, or maybe he U-turns. So I click Psycho Boost. I get off a big chunk on Miraidon. Nice 83. That is a boots Miraidon for sure. We see pivot U-turn. Could be overheat, but not sure at this point in the game. This is for sure Scarf Koraidon's coming in to revenge this Deoxys attack, and just from the structure of this team, it's pretty obvious. From the structure of the team, I'd have to say probably Spadef Score, Spadef Lu, obviously, Fizdef, Arceus Fairy, could be Rocks, could be Detail, honestly 50-50, but I do think it's Rocks. Like, this is on preview. Ho-Oh is for sure Fizdef, and then we got Scarf Koraidon and Boots Miraidon. It's a pretty basic team, all things considered. So it's pretty hard for me to switch into Gliscor. I'd have to either Toxic or knock off on something. I decide to read that he switches hard into his Arceus Fairy, so I just click Flare Blitz on that. No burn, no nothing. So I switch into Miraidon because I know he's either 100%, he's either going to T-Wave here or Judgment. If he Judgments, I always eat one Judgment and I can drop a Draco on his team, which he does not like eating at all. So he does end up T-Waving there. These can't run Wisp because that's a bad set. So I do think, okay, on Electro Drift, he's not staying in. I don't know, just looking back on this, I think he made a very bad play going to Ho-Oh, or maybe he just knows how I play and knew that I treaded Draco on that shit, because that's what I did. But I thought if he knew that I Draco on his Arceus Fairy, he would just stay in and recover. But what he does do is go hard Ho-Oh on what could have easily been an Electro Drift. I end up Dracoing anyway, I get 52% off, but I don't understand this play at all. If I clicked Electro Drift here, you just fucking lost your Ho-Oh, and that opens up my Calyrex big time. But I do click Electro Drift as a follow-up, and he does get his Gliscor in. I do taunt it, so I don't let it do anything. I prevent those T-Spikes coming up. I was mostly thinking of Toxic or Toxic coming out. Toxic or Rocks maybe, or Spikes. Actually, no, probably not Spikes. So T-Spikes does make sense on this. But keeping those T-Spikes off is really nice for my Koraidon and that NDW in the back. So anyway, sorry, I'm going to cut there, but I do end up U-turning there on that Miraidon. bring in my NDW. I feel like he could go Ting Lu, so I was debating doubling. I was thinking he's probably not going to stay in because he takes too much from Moongeist, so maybe I could double into Koraidon and catch that Ting Lu. That would give me a lot of momentum, so I do try to make that double, try to catch that Ting Lu. He does, however, just stay in and recover. This is a bit of a risky double on my part, but it was just some progress that I had to make. He does end up getting those rocks up, which isn't the best thing, isn't the worst thing either. And now I wanted to make this double a second time, but I thought, fuck, if Ting Lu comes out, if he stays in again, I've just done nothing these past 4 turns except double for no reason. He does go Ting Lu that time, so I get the double wrong. He can EQ or Urination for free. He does go for that last spike, which is pretty good into the Zacian and Necrozma. I do Flare Blitz thinking his Arceus Fairy is going to come out. No burner, no nothing. Sun comes out, so I did think he's going to recover here. I didn't think he would attack, so I figured I can SD then Flare Blitz to bring him down to about 40% after the Flare Blitz, just catching that recover. So I do only do 47%. I think that might have been a low roll. I am an adamant Koraidon. I do just bring Calyrex Ice here. He's revealed Thunder Wave. I can get a lot of damage off. I do just SD on this thing. He does end up Terra Watering. And I do just Glacial Lance here. I do know, however, that if I SD again, I can high horsepower. So if I SD again and he recovers, he comes back up to 64%, and at +4 high horsepower kills it. If he had gone Ho-Oh, I could have Terra Fired and just attacked, where on his most likely Whirlwind. So what he does is he recovers, and I get full parried on the SD. I remember thinking I was so behind here. I made a few bad doubles, and then he gets the crit on Miraidon. This never killed. The crit had to be there to kill. He can probably go to Gliscor here, which he does on the pretty obvious Wild Charge. Not much I can do here. I do get the crit on Gliscor, but too little too late. I'm pretty sure this is Fizdef's score, so he can't protect it off. I debated SDing here, but I was also like, maybe SD here could have won me the game if I got like really lucky with Cali Eye, but I don't think so, because he has that Ting Lu in the back, and then Gliscor comes out. He can knock me off, which I knew was coming out, but then I get full parrot, so I'm just like, fuck it, I'll forfeit. I'll go to the next game. So this is a best of 3, so the story does not end here. I do have 2 more games. I can't lose any more games. I can bring this back. For my next game, I looked at some of SC's old replays. I looked at this team, and I figured a really big punish to this team is bringing something like Stall. I don't usually play Stall. I don't think I'm very good at playing Stall, but looking at this matchup, this team fold. Like, I saw this matchup and I thanked the lords. If this was Choice Band Koraidon, that's maybe an issue. That just means it forces Terra on Skeledirge. This team, and if that's DD Taunt Ground CS, maybe, but I also don't think that's DD Taunt Ground CS, considering he has 1, 2, 3 physical guys. I mean, he could be DD Taunt Ground CS, but I just don't think so. These guys are all Ho-Oh weak. This guy's not that Ho-Oh weak. I saw this team, I was like, thank the Lord. This is, he didn't bring Taunt Miraidon, he didn't bring Kieran Black, he didn't bring Choice Band, or actually could have been Choice Band Koraidon, but again, I have answers to that in Skeledirge. So, turn 1, I ended up leading Ho-Oh, because my thought was I could lead Clodsire onto a possible Kyogre, but if I lead Clodsire into Koraidon and he's SD Scale Shot, I could just lose. I could lose my Ho-Oh, and if I lose my Ho-Oh, I like lose the game. So I was like, that's a threat I can't take, and Skeledirge is the most fraudulent switch in on Scale Shot, so I figured I'll play it safe, I'll go Ho-Oh. If he leads something else first, I can switch defensively out. Yeah. So he does bring Kyogre. He CM's turn 1. Clodsire is full Spadef. If he's offensive, I believe he does 70 to 80. If he's offensive, yeah, if he's offensive, he does 70 to 80. Defensive does about 50-ish. But I figured Clodsire is absolutely fucking useless in this game, right? I mean, spikes are useful, but I don't need spikes to win. I need a Toxic on this Kyogre so I can stall it out with Blissey. That's the only way I can beat it. I mean, that's not the only way I can beat it 1v1. I could also just beat it 1v1 outright with Blissey, but that Toxic will be so useful. So he does turn out to be defensive Kyogre, and I do just get that Toxic off for pretty free. Instead of recovering here, I figured I can go hard into Blissey. I can just keep stalling this out. Do I Seismic Toss or do I Calm Mind? Oh, I get those rocks up. Yeah, free rocks early in the game, no removal. It's beautiful. He does Outrage outright here, but I do know from this Outrage, I'm pretty sure this might be Adamant Scarf because this is Max FizzDef Ho-Oh. This might be Adamant Scarf damage, but it does mean he is locked into Outrage, so I can go pretty freely into my Arceus normal. Sorry, it's pretty hard to commentate the stall game. There's not much going on. It's just this was what's nice is this was a super easy stall game because some matchups it's like you need to do a sequence of things to win, but this was a very easy sort of switch in and play from there. I do just recover. I could have Will-O-Wisped, but I figured recover is just the safest play here. I do go Gliscor to get my Toxic Orb activated. Gliscor is only really useful for Ting Lu. I figure I can knock it off. He does, however, bring in Arceus Ground. He Terra Poisons outright. I wanted to scout here for, I figured if he's bringing this in, it's probably Calm Mind. I wanted to figure out, however, if he was Power Gem or Ice Beam. Looking at this team, I probably could have figured out his Power Gem just because of how weak this team is. But, I think on this turn I misplayed. I should have gone hard Blissey. FC made a really good read here, clicking Judgment on my Blissey switch. So I figured, so if he's doing 30 and I Calm Mind, he does 20 after, so he'll do 30 plus 20, 50 net. So I can Calm Mind, then recover everything off. He does, however, just crit Judgment, so I thought about it. I need a free switch into my Ho-Oh so I can Terra Grass and beat this. That's my only way for this team to beat it. So I figured, whatever, you do see me here in the chat. I said lol. I was a little mad, especially after this game where I got parried a lot and a few crits. But yeah, so we do just see the Terra Grass on the Ho-Oh. I recover, or no, I don't recover. He does not do enough with Judgment. I try to get that burn pretty early. Calyrex comes out and it takes rocks damage, which is a big fucking deal. That's really bad for them. I do have a whole Skeledirge in the back. This does mean he's most likely Lum. I don't know why you'd bring anything that isn't Boots on a team like this with no removal. But I don't know. To each their own. Yeah. From here, there's not much they can do. I'll knock off the Ting Lu. These spikes are useless. They have no knockoff, and they know everything in the back is Boots. I have no idea why they spiked here. They could have kept Ruinating or something, but I don't know. I miss my Toxic there. But does make a big difference. Because, yeah, they end up missing Ruination after, so it evens out. But I don't know why they spiked here. That made zero sense, but I don't know. I end up taunting here. I don't know why I taunted there now that I think about it. I think I wanted to catch something switching in, maybe. I didn't want something to switch in. I do Protect there, try to get as much HP as I can back. I just Protect outright, because I think they are gonna, or sorry, no matter what they click, Ho-Oh walls them for life. I figured out this was defensive turn 1. Or turn 2. They do miss that T-Wave, which actually could have been very bad for me, but I would have had to get very, 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 very unlucky. And then I just do T-Wave on this. I go into Cloudster on their last turn, and they just die to their own poison damage into their Zacian. I was scared when they went Zacian here, because I was scared there was some weird Terra Blast ground set, and then I realized they already terra'd. So here, do I recover? No, I tried to play this really safe because I was scared. I didn't want to get randomly crit or something. They do make the double into Calyrex, but it's all for naught when you're not heavy duty boots. So I can go right back into Skeledirge. They can high horsepower there if they really want to read it. But I think they might have just not been high horsepower because he just Glacial Lanced here. Which makes me think he just doesn't have it. Like it just, or maybe he just wanted to play out the game. Didn't really care at this point because it's very hard for them to break, but I don't believe that. I think they just straight up did not have high horsepower. Could have been SD Trick Room Close Combat. I don't know. Maybe Seed Bomb for Arceus. That is a guy this team does not love dealing with, to be honest. But they SD here, and I outspeed, so I can just pick up that kill with Torch Song, which is really nice. They do just bring out that Arceus Ground, but I do again have that Terra Grass Ho-Oh. They make the double back into the Scarf Koraidon. I figured there's not many good moves they can click here. If they lock themselves into fighting move, I can go into Skeleturge and get a free Will-O-Wisp off. So I just go hard into this on the Outrage, and if I land this Will-O-Wisp, I can recover this off. So I do land the Will-O-Wisp. They can stay in and go for the kill. That might have been a rule, I don't know. But I don't need the E-Killer for anything in the back. I have a full HP Skeleturge. Arceus Ground loses to Ho-Oh 1v1. Clodsire does nothing. And Tinglu's on a timer with Toxic. Oh, that rhymed. Tinglu on a timer with Toxic. Man, the English language. Yeah, not much they can really do here. They just keep clicking Outrage. I try to click Will-O-Wisp trying to catch something on the switch. They do end up switching into Tinglu, which, I mean, makes sense. I think I Hex here. Yeah, whopping 9%. I just go into Gliscor. From here, it's just a switch in and stall game. There's not really much to do. I'm just switching into the checks every turn. Yeah, so everything ends up dying. Zacian goes down. Eventually, gets a few crits, but doesn't matter too much. I can just slack off and everything. He does CM. I go into Ho-Oh. I really want to get that burn. I need the burn to beat it 1v1 with Brave Birds. I'm happy I have these sacks in the back, because although they also have Recover, I can, I can sack these for regen, and that is what I end up doing. I end up beating this 1v1. At +4, Judgment does 50 max. So what I can do is just Recover stall, let him go down with burn. It wasn't very hard from this point, because I just keep sacking guys, and he's also fully ran out of recovers at this point. So it's a pretty easy 1v1. I'm not gonna lie, this is a 100-0 matchup for me. Maybe could have been a little better for them if they didn't have Lum Cali, but yeah, well played last game. So it's 1-1 now. I need to win this last game to win the best of 3. And I figured they're gonna load something that really beats Stall, and I was correct. They load Glimmora. We see Glimmora. This was used a bit. There was a team that was very similar to this used in UPL, where it was Glimmora, Kingambit, Choice Bane Koraidon, Scarf Koraidon, Fizdef Landorus, and E-Killer. So my mind instantly went to that, but I also thought, yeah, this very well could just be Scarf Koraidon, Boots Miraidon. So I didn't want to make any assumptions. Turn 1, versus Glimmora teams, what I always do, since this is weakness policy Miraidon, I taunt Glimmora, I light screen, and then I parting shot, because they can mud shot, and then my Miraidon gets hit by weakness policy. I can agility, I can out agility the mud shots, and get all my HP back with Parabolic Charge. So I'll just let it play out. That's exactly what I do. I've played this on ladder so many times, so I know exactly what to do here. Maybe I should have taunted turn 1. I think I probably should have taunted turn 1. But anyway, they most likely mud shot here, or Dazzling Gleam. They do end up going for the Mortal Spin. I agility here, what do they click? They click Mud Shot for 9%, and I get my weakness policy procced. So I can recover all that good HP with Parabolic Charge. And what do they go for? Do they Mud Shot again to lower my speed? Nope, they just go for a Spike. I thought that was really greedy. I think... Actually... Wait, why did I click agility again here? Hold on. Oh, because at +1, I didn't outspeed a possible Scarf Koraidon in the back. This next play, I really have to explain. So, I figured they can see that I'm poison stalled. They're Landorus Therian. This is a good player, right? Before I play this, I'm being told, oh fuck, Deem, or Edem, whatever people call me. I got, this is a tough guy to be, this is a Uber leader. So I figured, right, maybe they read this. I saw it as a play of ignorance, or maybe they're just like playing 4D chess and I'm not tapped in. I thought he has that synergy that fully stalls me out, where he can go switch infinitely between Landorus Therian and Arceus Fairy. I figured he wants to bait Dragon Move, go into Arceus Fairy, and stall me out of Dragon Pulse and Parabolic Charge while letting me die to poison damage. So I click Parabolic Charge on the Landorus. This Dragon Pulse also is a 93.8% chance to Oko. So I was like, there's no way he's staying in. If he loses this Landorus, he has so many guys in the back that just need that Landorus Intimidate. But when I saw this, I was a little mad, but I also thought I made the correct play. Into Calyrex, he can U-turn or taunt. He does just end up U-turning. He has King Gambit, which is very good into my team, I'm not gonna lie. So I do just get to break that air balloon, which is nice. No black glasses is kind of nice. They can Iron Head for pretty free into my Koraidon in the back, which I think they do. From here, they have that Arceus Fairy in the back. I'd choose to Scale Shot. I'm trying to think about this now. I don't know why they stayed in, and I don't know why I chose to Scale Shot. I honestly don't know why. I think maybe I was trying to catch Landorus, but they also had an Arceus Fairy, so I feel like Flare Blitz is the ultimate mid-ground. Anyway, I'm ass for clicking Scale Shot here. Oh my god. Watching this back. I also couldn't stay in on Calyrex Ice there with King Gambit, just because I always I never killed with high horsepower. I never killed max HP with high horsepower from that point. But from here, I can. There's no point in Trick Rooming because they're just going to Sucker Punch, and I don't want to play that 50-50. It's not even a 50-50. They just click Sucker Punch until Trick Room runs out. Here, he could Taunt maybe. I don't know what he wanted to click. He just EQs here. I could have taunted, reading their taunt. They just end up going for some greedy rocks. I light screen here. I figured they're going to taunt at some point, but it doesn't really matter. I get the free Calyrex switching. They just taunt here. So most likely he can U-turn here. I'm pretty sure EQ did not kill. So into the Arceus Fairy, I get that Glacial Lance off, but doing absolutely zilch, 0 damage. I clicked this again. I think this was a choke. I realized I'm wasting my own screens. What the fuck am I doing? Why am I clicking Glacial Lance? So I go hard to Arceus. And I think, okay, they're not Will-O-Wisp. They gotta be T-Wave. I SD here. I think, okay, they're bringing in Koraidon hard into my E-Killer. This is without a shadow of a doubt about a Terra Ghost. So I Terra Ghost and Shadow Claw, thinking they're just going to Terra Ghost, I can catch that. Instead, they go into Landorus, which is a good play, I'm not going to lie. But what I don't understand here is... Actually, staying in is fine if you want to U-turn. Taunt there was not the play at all. Maybe he was max speed, but if he wasn't max speed, that was a really bad play, in my opinion. U-turn was a fine play. And then what's worse here is sacking it. Sacking it here, I did not understand. Sacking it, I thought, okay, maybe you could have intimidated, cycled. You had me taunted. You could have intimidated, cycled. I don't know why you stay in. But I'm like, okay, you know what? This is winnable. Arceus Fairy does not do much. I never calc this roll. I can 2-hit KO it back. He chooses not to T-Wave me, which I mean smart. You don't want to play for the T-Wave 50-50. But honestly, the point when I think regardless, Grimmsnarl still lived from screens. He has no setup in the back. I think the second this Arceus Fairy went down. Actually, I'd argue the second... no, the second Arceus Fairy went down, because I have a very weird Necrozma Dustmane set. Which I don't really want to leak, because it's a good weird set. But it would have allowed me to KO everything from this point, and it would allow me at the very least to get Trick Room up for Calyrex Ice. So I have screen support, so I figured Necrozma can live whatever and get Trick Room up. If he killed me with Judgment here, it wouldn't really matter, because I just needed the chip to kill Dustmane. Chip to kill Dustmane, no, I need the chip for Dustmane to kill. Or at the very least Calyrex Ice. At this point, I think he can Terra Ghost, whatever. But fuck it, I'm just clicking E-Speed, I'm letting it fly. If he didn't bring Terra Ghost, he didn't bring Terra Ghost. That's their problem. I am Silk Scarf, so I do Oko. This crit did not matter at all. I'm thinking, okay, he didn't Terra Ghost there, question mark? Does he have Terra Ghost Miraidon in the back, maybe? And he doesn't. He doesn't, which was pretty weird. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was... I think I won when they sacked the Landorus anyway, because my NDM can win with screen support. But that was the last game. The last and first game, I felt I played very sloppily. Especially the last game, I was kind of mad at myself for clicking Parabolic Charge on the Landorus. Although I did feel like it was the right play. Maybe in hindsight, that was a bit too much of an over prediction early in the game. and I could have recovered by parabolic charging. Like, even if I had Dragon Pulsed on the Arceus Fairy Switch, I could have recovered or something. But yeah, that's my round 2 Uber Seasonals. I've won my first 2 rounds, so I get a bye for round 3, and then I play again in round 4. Been a super fun tournament so far. I've been laddering way too much for Ubers just because I enjoy it much, just for the content. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you were my opponent watching this game right now, you never saw this. Yeah, peace.